I'm Sofia Bernardi, mindset and business coach supporting ambitious new and rising coaches plus service-based businesses to master their mindset, create an aligned and profitable strategy, and grow a six-figure business using the Rising Coach method. I built a multi-six-figure business by the age of 24, and in this podcast, I will teach you the psychology, strategy, and energetics to do the same. Let's dive in. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Rising Coaches with Sofia Bernardi. I am so excited about today's episode because this is something I know a lot of you struggle with in life and in business, and so I'm really excited to share with you my journey on this particular topic and how specifically I overcame this so that you hopefully can as well. And that, my friends, is talking about comparison. Oh my God. Who here struggles with comparison? This is something that really got in my own way in the beginning stages of business. And if you need any proof or, confirmation about that, just ask my partner, because he's the one that had to deal with this issue of mine. So in business, I compared myself to everyone who was prettier than me, making more money than me, living a more luxurious lifestyle than me, had better branding than me, everyone. My partner always encouraged me to not do this because he could see how sad it made me, but I just couldn't seem to stop. I seriously compared myself all of the time. And whilst I believe social media is the most life-changing opportunity that's ever been presented to me, it's absolutely changed my life, and I overall see it as a really good thing because we choose our thoughts. Social media is actually neutral, and I choose to believe that it's a really positive thing. Of course, when I didn't have that belief, I saw a lot of negatives with it, and I really struggled because the thing with social media is that you see the highlight reel in an instant of other people's lives, and therefore it's so easy to get caught up in comparison because you just see the tip of the iceberg of someone's life, but your brain doesn't think about that in that moment. It just thinks, oh, this person is so happy and so successful, but you don't see the behind the scenes of, one, whether it's even truthful or not. Two, like maybe how hard or how long it took to get there, or maybe like you're missing bits of the information because you've distorted it or generalized it or deleted it, or they simply haven't shared it. And it's just so important to recognize all of those things when it comes to like utilizing social media, is you're only seeing this tiny part. And if you're questioning whether that's truthful or not, just ask yourself whether, all of your followers right now, would they know how you're currently feeling? Would they know like all parts of your life? Like, have you shared all of that? The truth is you probably haven't. All those really dark moments, I'm sure you haven't pulled your phone out to really document that, because not many people, to be honest, feel like doing that. Like, I want to be as transparent as authentic and as vulnerable as humanly possible on social media. It's so important to me. It's one of my top values. But even when I'm not feeling good, the last thing I feel like doing is pulling out my phone and talking about it, for a couple of reasons. One, I just don't fucking feel like that, and I'm not obligated to do that. And two, I don't like sharing things until I'm on the other side of it, because I don't want to dump my emotions and my struggles onto people. I want to be able to, everything I say, I want it to be an opportunity for growth and learning and evolving for people. And so I'm happy to share my challenges, but I love to share it on the other side once I've actually gotten the learning, because if I'm still in it, it's not actually that helpful. It might be relatable, but it's not going to help people out of it if I haven't myself gotten the breakthrough yet. So I like to do that internally and with the support of my coaches and my kinesiologists and all of the things. And then once I have the breakthrough and I've moved through it, then it's going to be supportive for people, because I'm not here to necessarily entertain people. I'm here to educate people and empower people into their highest. If I was here to entertain people, sure, might be a great strategy to jump on social media whilst crying, but that's not like who I am and why I do this. So whilst that might be, great content that gets a lot of, entertainment and gets a lot of viewers, that's not really my intention. So for me, when I looked on social media, I just saw all these happy people, and this was in the beginning stages of my business where, I wasn't succeeding by any means. I was struggling to get clients. I had no idea what I was doing. I had so much lack of confidence and so much self-doubt. And then I would see all these people that had, gotten to 6 figures in the first year and had their first 10K months after 30 days of being in business, and had all of these wins that just sounded amazing, and I was happy for them, but at the cost of me then not loving myself. And it was a really weird feeling, and it was really uncomfortable and really painful, because I'm a good person. I want the best for people. So why am I feeling so badly? And it was because of the meanings I was making it mean about myself, that I wasn't good enough, that there was something wrong with me, that I'm not meant to do this because I don't have these successful stories. And now I do, because I followed through and everything like that. But I certainly didn't in the beginning. And I think it's important to recognize that.
Interrupting this podcast episode quickly, because if you're loving this episode, it would mean the world to me if you shared my podcast to your Instagram stories. All you have to do is screenshot this episode and share it to your Instagram stories, tagging me at Sofia Rose Bernardi. I would love to connect with you.
So I was comparing myself so much, and because of the stories that came from those circumstances of not being good enough, blah, 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 that led me to not taking action. And that's why my business didn't grow, right? Because of the thoughts I was having about comparison. And I tried everything to fix this. I, at one point, unfollowed every single person on Instagram, even my boyfriend, guys. I unfollowed everyone. I was following 0 people. I also got that Facebook feed remover extension on the computer. So when I would go on Facebook, I wouldn't be able to see the news feed, and I would read positive affirmations. And yet I would still compare myself, which just left me feeling stuck, lost, and not enough. But one day I got sick of myself. I got sick of judging, got sick of questioning, sick of crying and overthinking my every move. I was just so sick of being in my own way. And so I decided to get out of my own way and focus on where I was going, right? And that meant blocking out the noise. And a few years have passed since this time where I really struggled with comparison, and I've noticed how my relationship with comparison has drastically changed. I actually no longer compare myself in a negative light, and I actually, when I'm quote unquote comparing myself, it's happening for me and not to me. And I'm going to share with you what I actually did to release comparison from my life. Don't get me wrong, I'm a human being. All human beings compare, but I just no longer make it mean something negative about me 95% of the time. So let me break this down. A few months ago, I actually decided that I was ready for an up level in my life and my business. And this is where I realized how far I'd come with comparison. And so when I was looking for how to go about this, because I have a particular process, and my coach was supporting me through it as well, I started searching for people that I looked up to on social media, because I was looking to step into that next level version of me, and who is she? What does she wear? What does she look like? How does she show up? And so I thought I'd get inspiration by people I'm magnetized towards on social media and who I'm inspired by. And so I was looking at people's fashion sense, their branding, their content, their lifestyle. I compared myself to them, but this time as inspiration rather than competition. I felt 0 sense of lack, of worthiness or doubt, and more just inspiration for what was possible for me too. And it was a beautiful feeling to get excited by following other really, really successful coaches, or what appeared to me to be successful, people that I was really inspired by, even if they're in the same industry as me, they've got the same quote unquote niche as me, all of the things, no comparison, just inspiration for what was possible and who I wanted to step into, right? And here's the thing, this is what I've really realized now, is there is enough success to go around. And if I see others doing quote unquote better than me, then know that it's just evidence of what is possible for you. So this was my reframe, was I realized that just because this person is doing really well doesn't mean I can't either. In fact, what that means is that it's possible, right? And how exciting is that to know that it's possible? So you might be wondering, okay, what did I actually do to release comparison and start using it for me rather than against me? There were 3 things I really did. One, and the main one, was building self-belief. It was actually through building my confidence, and that didn't necessarily mean becoming more successful or better at all. It's just building my confidence, believing in myself and, you know, what I have to offer and who I am as a person, like full-heartedly accepting myself, self-love. And I did this through forgiveness. I did this through releasing beliefs, and I did this through releasing emotions. They're the three things that I did to help build my self-belief, was actually by releasing the stories and the situations from my life that didn't serve me, right? So building self-belief was number one, to, you know, using comparison for me. Number two was seeing the people I was comparing to as evidence that if they can, then I can too. So just reframing the situation. So I just reframed it to like, okay, they're doing it. That doesn't mean anything about me other than that it's possible for me. And how exciting is that? That there are people out there that are doing what it is I want to do. And now I don't have to question or guess whether it's possible, because I know it is. Because I know that they're very normal people and they're doing it as well. And I want to let you know that obviously time played a role in this, because I realized the pattern that I was in of like constantly like struggling with the same story over and over again. And through investing in a lot of high level mentorship, I started to surround myself with people that I once actually compared myself to, or I started to see the insides of people's lives and struggles, but I could see that their social media was quite different. Right? And that's not anything on them. That's just what social media does. Social media can't show every single facet of someone's 24-hour day, and every day is so different as well. So like, this isn't against anyone by any means. It's more just like the nature of social media. And so me investing in high level mentorship, like being around people that I'm so freaking inspired by, and me being the small one in a big container, really allowed me to see like, oh, everyone has fear and doubt. Even people I look up to, even people that are already at the $1 million plus mark, they have fear and doubt. They have struggles. They compare themselves. They don't know what to do. They get in their own way. And it really support like that, just that constant evidence of like, oh, this is normal. Everyone goes through this. And like, yeah, it just normalizing it. So it helped me to really reframe the situation that like, wow, this person makes $1 million and like is talking really negatively about themselves right now. So like, that means I can too, and things like that. So yeah, self-belief, reframing the situation, and like just through time and through investing in myself, like being around those people to normalize your thoughts and feelings and really see it. And just like a few things have happened in my business journey where I've once compared myself to someone and then ended up actually becoming quite close with them, and then realizing that their life is completely different than what is shown on social media. Again, unintentional or intentional, doesn't really matter, but I just realized that there's always two sides, and so there's no point comparing because you never actually know. It's a waste of time and energy. And then the last thing I did that really supported me is I recognized the opportunity for growth whenever I was triggered by someone else's success, right? I just realized that like, oh, there's clearly something I need to heal here. There's something that's triggering me. And so rather than like beating myself up about it, I just used it as an opportunity for growth. And they are the three things that I did to use comparison for me rather than against me. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love to hear from you. Come message me on Instagram, share this to your Instagram stories and tag me so I can thank you and share it back on my stories. I really love it when you spread the word on my podcast. It means the world to me because I want this in way more people's earbuds. So yeah, please share it. It would mean the world to me, and I'll see you in next week's episode. Bye.
Are you ready to create aligned, scalable results in your coaching or service-based business? If so, I'd love to work with you. I support my clients through my signature programs, Rise to Coach, which is for new coaches or service providers wanting to sign their first clients, and Rise to 6 to scale to consistent 10K months. DM me at Sofia Rose Bernardi on Instagram to learn more and see if one of my programs is the right fit for you.